Come on, come on.
Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And today we're going to talk about the economy is booming. It's not Main Street. This is the big boys club. That means those that buy assets, it's starting to boom. And you may know what I'm talking about. And if you don't, come along for the ride, because is it stocks, crypto? Is it mergers? Is it business opportunities? It's you, ladies and gentlemen, that need to decide over the next 3 to 6 months, because your lives are going to change after that. And welcome. Stop Struggling Now gear. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let me know the answer to the question of the evening. Is the economy booming? And once again, let me know what you think. Is it really? You can look at crypto now at the all-time high since 2022. Now you can start looking at some of the NASDAQs and the S&P 500, the Dow Jones. One of the indexes is at its all-time high. Then you go to gold and silver. Gold, all-time record high. Does this mean we are out of trouble, ladies and gentlemen? Let me know what you think. Once again, please share the videos, and you never know who you're going to be able to help. But more importantly, please subscribe, smash the like button. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please hold on. It would be great if you subscribe now. Why? Because we're about to hit the 15,000 subscriber mark. How awesome is that, ladies and gentlemen? We're slowly but surely getting there, and we might get there in the next few days. So I want to thank everybody who's a subscriber and also members with the icon next to their name that's going to be here in the chat room. All right, here's what we're going to talk about first, because there's something that came to my attention that we actually, well, it went over myself and did not mention it a few months back. Brian P. was kind enough to send me an email today and said, hey, Eric, check this out. Realtors must pay home sellers $1.8 billion for inflating commissions, jury fines, and this is from October, at the end of October. I'll repeat that again for all of you who are not part of the SSN Nation, and I'm going to repeat something first. Remember when there was a housing boom, and I sat here and I said I never overpay. When I go to pay for a home, pay for real estate, and the guys tell me, hey, Eric, this is the price. And I'll give you an example. When somebody says $400,000 for the house, you make an offer of, let's say, $390,000. Your realtor comes back and says, hey, Eric, they won't accept your offer. That's what my realtor says. I have no way to verify this. I don't see anybody's written offer in writing. It's not like a real bidding process. So therefore, I told him, okay, so the guy wants 400K. Let's just go 400K. What's the big deal over in the overall scheme of things, right? So then when your realtor comes back and says, hey, Eric, you're going to have to pay more because, well, he's not accepting the offer. I always told the realtor, I said, too bad. I don't go over asking prices. To their shock and horror, they're like, what do you mean? This is what you have to do. I said, I don't have to do anything. And now here we have it, ladies and gentlemen, right what I suspected all along. Now, this is what I mean. I'm going to show you on the screen because is it Main Street that's breaking these all-time records? The big boys, you know, the top 10 percenters, are they rewards? This is how they reap the rewards, make you overpay for liabilities. Liabilities such as cars, trucks now over 100 grand. This is craziness, right? Some people say not so crazy. I say crazy. Some people want to spend 50, 100, 150,000 more over asking price for homes in 2021 and 2022. I don't know why, but they did. So in the background, there must be some music. Oh, good, it was off. Okay, here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Realtors must pay home sellers $1.8 billion for inflating commissions, jury fines. Now, I find this hilarious because you guys, when you're out here buying homes, which are liabilities, I'll keep saying that, unless you have passive income or some other streams of income coming in to pay for your home, then that could be construed an asset. But if you have to work 9 to 5 or work your business or do whatever you have to do, so then you can pay for the home out of your pocket, that's a liability. So they're making you overpay for liabilities, which is cars, homes, credit cards, which is all-time record high, by the way, for debt. And then on Black Friday, they break the record. You consumers are out there breaking the record, 7.8 billion. That is the record, unbelievably, on a year where everybody said, I'm living paycheck to paycheck. But just because you're living paycheck to paycheck doesn't mean you don't have credit cards. And some people have credit cards. A lot of people have credit cards. And they have thousands of dollars on their credit card limit. So therefore, that makes much more sense. Now, let's get back to this. Now, real estate companies were ordered to pay $1.8 billion in damages after a federal jury in Missouri on Tuesday ruled that they conspired to artificially inflate brokerage. 21 to a house, they make almost the same house somewhere else. They're not custom. All right. Generally, if they're custom, then you're going to spend more money. But generally, if you're in a regular residential neighborhood, they have like 3, 4, 5, 6 different models. So what if you don't get it? Time is on your side. Now, I wish these commercials would stop playing. All right. The case, okay, never mind. The payments are partially governed by NAR rules, which mandate that sellers include a fee offered to the buyer's agent in listing property. And then that can lead agents to steer buyers into deals to maximize their own commissions. That's what was happening 2020, 2021, 2022. How else can you get home prices increasing 40, 50, 60%? Insanity, right? Now, yes, they colluded. Plaintiff claimed the association and others, defendants, colluded to drive up commission that sellers pay to brokers representing home buyers. They're both on each side. And here we go. They're just doing Missouri and parts of Illinois and Kansas between 2015 to 2022. There we go, ladies and gentlemen, 20, 21, 22, and the whole time. So think about that time when the realtor's in your ear talking about, hey, man, you got to increase your price. Think about it. All right. So all I'm saying. So this is this is crazy. This is really, really crazy. The thing that's disgusting about this is the fact that the fine. This is ridiculous. Look at this. Man, these guys, what is this? CBS News? 2 other brokerages, Remax, who I don't like doing business with, and Anywhere Real Estate, settled with plaintiffs earlier in the year, paying a combined $138.5 million and agreeing to no longer require that agents belong to the NAR. All right, National Association of Realtors. Now, 138 million, but as I think it said 1.8 billion for inflating commission. Okay, this is 138. This is not, that's compared to the increase in prices in 7 years. Homes went up dramatically, which means these guys were profiting off of coming back to you, telling you got to bid the price up. All right. Or whatever other shenanigans they were trying to do. You better buy now kind of stuff, right? Pressuring you to buy. And knowing both break, you're not going to bust these guys. Just like when you go to a casino, people are in there, they're winning. Instead of leaving, they continue to stay. And the longer you stay playing the liability game, you're going to lose eventually. Or shall I say not lose, but you're not going to create the wealth that you need to going forward. They're going to catch you. Inflation is always going to catch you. There's no way you can stop it. You do not run corporations. They can raise the price anytime they want to. All right. On the necessities, food, water, gas, electricity, they can raise the price anytime they want. All right. And then a damn thing a government's going to do about it. All right. He is here, but Professor Auntie Val showed up first. I clicked hers, and welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream with the icon next to her name. And since she's here, I wanted to reserve the right, and I'm about to tell you why I'm reserving the right. Good evening, fam. She has the heart. She has the strength. She has the cup of beachfront Java. I had to reserve the right just in case Professor Auntie Val was here, because is the Black Friday special still going on or not? That's what I wanted to do. I went over there today to check, and it still said till Monday. So I didn't know if it was still going on. So I want to hear from you, Professor Auntie Val. Let us know. Thank you so much for being in the house. Brian P., responsible for sending me this earlier today. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I was remiss by not talking about this 2 months ago, because this is major. This goes right with what I was saying 2 years ago, 3 years ago, when people were saying I'm going to pay a little bit more than what the realtor said. And I said, don't do it. All right, Brian P., welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream with the icon next to his name as well. And he says, hello, Eric. I hope all is well with you. Yes, it is. Hopefully it's all well with you. Hello, SSN family. I got all the notifications and videos. Thank you so much, Brian P. I appreciate that. That's a rare moment, because I did pop 2. That's right. And again, Professor Auntie Val, let me know the answer to the question. Maybe Cyber Monday is here. 20% off for beachfront Java. That's right. You like fine ground, drip ground. What am I missing? Keurig, whole beans from Africa, Central America, South America, Indonesia, around the world, in the best coffee regions, packed in a Ziploc bag to always stay fresh. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. The aroma of my campfire brew, the chocolate notes. Yes, smells like hot chocolate, and it tastes very, very good. So go over to Beachfront Java, ladies and gentlemen, and get your 20% off today. But you have to put in that promo code Black Friday. I'm pretty sure, because I didn't realize it was Cyber Monday. I guess, or was that last week? No, Cyber Monday was a week ago. So I might be wrong. Hold on. Let me go see if she put anything in here about this. Okay, no, but cooking up something. Okay, Black Friday special. The code is no good. See what happens when you miss a week, ladies and gentlemen. It was last week you could have got the Black Friday through Monday. Now you have to use the SSN Lifestyle for 10% off. But how about this? How about 10% off for life in all caps? SSN Lifestyle. All caps. After your first order. Life. That's not say so myself. So go over to the Beachfront Java lot right now. And oh, by the way, you don't like coffee? No worries. Tea is also her specialty, the company's specialty, beachfrontjava.com, ladies and gentlemen. Go over there and free shipping into United States. So go over there and show some love for our own Professor Auntie Val and family. And once again, Job Way J, an investor, is in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream with the icon next to his name. And he says, hello, SSN Nation. Hope everyone is doing well. Received notifications, saw the trailer. That's 2 people tonight. Thank you so much for letting me know. I appreciate that. Very, very happy to see you once again. Thank you so much. And Joe Nay is here. Another investor's in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream with the icon next to his name as well. And he says, buenos noches, SSN fam. Buenos noches to you as well. I'm here. I'm paying attention. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I received a notification and saw the trailer. That's 3 people. All right. Exactly. Keeping it 100. That's what we do around here, ladies and gentlemen. We all make mistakes, but we have to own up to them. Let's call it what it is. And we try not to make mistakes, but God dang it, we're not perfect. That's the problem, right? If it was that easy. All right. No, but cooking up something. All right. There we go. It wasn't a Cyber Monday. It was last Monday. So anyhow, thank you so much for that. Thank you, everybody, for being here tonight. Stocks, they are off the charts. I don't know what's going on. Crypto. Oh, my goodness. It passed 39,000, 40,000, 41,000, 42,000. Are we going to hear, hey, 43,000 sold? I mean, what's going on with crypto? All of a sudden, boom. It's insane. It's insane. It's rocking and rolling, but we do know why. Those ETFs are on board, getting approval from the regulated environment. They're on board, ladies and gentlemen. That means something, right? Allegedly, it means something. That's all I'm going to say about it. Vanessa Comagate is in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. The Seamless Genius is here and brings her tagline with the icon next to her name. Hey, Boston SSN fam, happy Monday with you. And you know I have to ask, it was, what was it, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Cyber whatevers. Tell us, how was the mall activity? If you're still doing the Airbnb of malls, let us hear what it says. We know there was a record, 7.8 billion. That means the mall was jam-packed. I am sure no matter if it was in Cali, New York, Miami, or it was in Dallas, Texas, it is jam-packed whenever there's records. I like to hear records, but I don't like to hear liability records. Debt. That is not good, ladies and gentlemen. But nonetheless, that's good if you're in the retail environment. If you're in business, you're loving life for that day. But Paul Castillo is here. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. Another investor with the icon next to his name. And he brings his tagline. Good evening, SSN family. Oh my, let's get to it. I love it. I love it. You know that. And that's what we do here, ladies and gentlemen. So let's start off this thing properly, because you know I'm a proponent right now. You got to do YieldMaxETFs.com. You have no choice. 20%, 25% annual returns from a licensed and regulated stock on the stock market. Ladies and gentlemen, Go there. You have your choice. You don't have to pick TSLY. You can pick OARK. OARK. You don't like that? Then pick NVDA. Don't like that? APLY. Don't like that? COIN. I think I messed that one up. But anyhow, you'll see it. So you have choices. So you don't like the 20%. Maybe you want 30. Maybe you want 35. Maybe you want 50. It's possible right now if you pick the right dividend stocks at YieldMax ETFs, but you got to do your own studying and research. You just can't blindly go over there and say, hey, I heard Eric said. This isn't one of those Eric says. It's one of those Eric says. Go check it out. But you're supposed to study and find out if it works for you. Otherwise, you can just stick with the easy guys. Stick with JP Morgan, right? JEPI, JEPQ, earn 10% then. I mean, it's that simple. I mean, somebody mentioned on Friday, P&G, Procter & Gamble, PG, 3% dividends, but their stock goes up. They give dividends every year. I'm like 3%. I might as well just go see the Treasury bond guys because that's more than that. I'm just saying, right? So go check it out. I mean, I might as well just leave it in a freaking CD at the bank if I'm going to do 3% or 4%. Yes, there's an upside with the stock price increase over many, many years. But think of this. If you were doing 3% annually and there's something else that gives you 15% annually, AGNC, NLY, that means in order to get, that's 5 years you're burning off that you can do for one. As long as that stock's giving off dividends, you're getting 15% on your money every year. That's significant. 30% in 2 years. And if you're doing 3%, that takes you 10. Well, kind of, but nonetheless, it's still 10. All right. This is crazy when you really start thinking about it. 2 years or 10 years. I'm just saying. Now, that's why you need to think about your action box. If none of you have a brokerage account, you've never heard of Robinhood, never heard of Webull or Robinhood, the links are down below in the description box. Get your free shares of stock when you download from Robinhood. Get your free shares of stocks when you download Webull, but you upload 1 cent or more. All right. So that's how they're doing it these days. Now, there is something else I need to talk about because we do talk about stocks. It's Money Making Monday. That's fair enough. But nonetheless, Paul Castillo, I appreciate you being here once again. Thank you so much for that icon. And I humbly appreciate it. We are making money. That's right, Brian P. Brian P knows he's with the YieldMaxETFs.com. Oh, by the way, when's the cutoff? It's either today or tomorrow. You have to buy a YieldMax ETF. In fact, too late. It's past 8:30. But nonetheless, you can buy a YieldMax ETF. You can find out the ex-dividend date. It's usually the 4th or the 5th. Most of the time, it's the 6th as well. So if you buy before the ex-dividend date, then you will receive your first commissions this month in about 2 weeks. That's right. They give their commissions the 15th dividends, 15th through the 18th of the month. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Licensed, regulated on the stock market. I'm just saying. All right. And when you look and see the returns, when you see 25, 30, 35, you're like, holy, wait, hold on a second. Where have I been all my life? Right. Well, these are new relatively. So I'm just saying, I cannot even dream and think this would last for 30 years, but you might as well get on board and take advantage and take out some of that money after a year, a little bit, just to put into a little more safer zone. That would be helpful as well. But nonetheless, we'll see what happens. And Brian P is leading the way. Like I said, he's trying to get 4,000 shares of stock from YieldMax ETFs. And just do this, ladies and gentlemen, if on average they do like 50 cents a share, This man could be doing like $2,000 per month from dividends if he reaches his goal to 4,000 shares at Yomax ETF. That's incredible, right? What's good, sis, from Professor Auntie Val, showing the love. George's Charles is here. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. He has the icon next to his name, an avid investor buying up assets like there's no tomorrow because he's looking at retiring earlier. That's all I can say right now, ladies and gentlemen. You would have had to come to the SSN Lifestyle, SSN Nation, Punta Cana Real Estate Investors and Business Forum last month. But don't worry, you might have missed it this time, but I highly suggest you don't miss the one May 10th through May 15th. Just saying, put it on your calendar early. May 10th through the 15th, we have another one. You can come over there. You can have that pre-construction love. And George's Charles has a reason to say hello all and a reason to say, I smell money in here. He's damn right, because no qualifying, no credit check, no barriers to entry. Action style. We do it, ladies and gentlemen. He does it, ladies and gentlemen. And a few others that I mentioned, they do it as well. And they set themselves up because when you have records, tourism, going to an island, I don't care what island it is. If you know for the next few years that it's going to break their all-time tourist records, just like the hotels know. The hotels are flocking over there. All the big boys, the Hiltons, the Hyatts, the Four Seasons, all of them, because they know more people are coming by the millions, not just 20,000 or 50,000 annually. They're busting the record like 1 million per year. And next year, they're going to bust the record again because they have new flights. So that means more people have accessibility to the island, and they are creating zones. If you missed the last Dominican Republic Weekly, Cabo Rojo is the restaurants, the hotels. They've already bought land over there. I have to go and check out that area now because I want some of that. Even if it's a mile up the street, a kilometer or two away, that's still going to be good. All I'm saying is I get excited when I start talking about this, ladies and gentlemen. George's Charles smells the money. He's already put his money where his mouth is by investing. Vanessa Comagated, Auntie Val, Opportunities Love, and Beachfront Java Coffee. Exactly, Vanessa Comagate. That's what we're talking about here, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to have to figure out that beachfront Java, especially the beachfront Java and the tea. She has it all. So hot, cold, either way, they both work. So none but love from the professor. Oh, yes, sir. I've been busy. The mall was very busy. That's what I thought. I thought so. It had to be all-time record highs. It must have been insane for about 3 days. My goodness, I can't even believe people were out here breaking the liability record. I might dive into nails. FYI, vending machine price reduced. Obviously, again, Vanessa Comagate, as wise men say, business people say, we have to sometimes wait and see how things shake out, because I know the price was just too high for what we as an entrepreneur or business person have to do. We're taking all of the risk. There is no guarantees. We have to pick the right locations, and we have to set up some way to collect money and or replace the items in the machine. So once again, I love it. Are you going to hopefully tell me what the prices are? Even though I don't have a plan for them at this moment, because the handset, the one that's countertop version, I have to have it it doesn't pay while it's sitting there. So somebody has to man it. And then the actual one you would put in a mall, again, I just can't see where it's standalone because nobody's seen them. Unless you're in Europe, you haven't really seen them around, so people don't really know what they are. So you got to be there to try and help people along. So so let me know what the prices are, I hope. Joe Nay already booked a flight for May 2024. Let's get it popping. Oh, I love to hear that, Joe Nay. But hey, Joe Nay, hopefully it's May 10th through the 15th or encompasses some portion of this. But again, now I have to say something. ladies and gentlemen, it was not free to join us. You could be in the DR, but coming with us to go around, well, there will be a fee. And there's going to be some more things coming up. Stay tuned. After I get back in about 2 weeks, we'll be talking about it, ladies and gentlemen. That's when it'll be solidified on how this is going to go down. There's some new management for what I was going to do when I was there. I come back, new management. They're taking over the spot that we were supposed to be doing something. Now I got to go see this new management. We'll go see what they say. But once again, we do this, ladies and gentlemen. Don't worry about it. E. White is in the house. Another emerging millionaire is here. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream, an avid investor. And he brings his tagline this evening. Good evening, SSN family. Good evening, E. White. I smell money as well. He damn sure does, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget to hit the like button. I appreciate that, E. White. Smash that like button. And if you haven't subscribed, we're only a few subscribers away from 15,000 barrier. My God, who knew that would happen? But I love it, ladies and gentlemen. So we might have to throw a little party. Let's call it what it is. Friday night party, right? All right. But E. White, another emerging millionaire, ladies and gentlemen, buying assets that's going to pay him for the rest of his life. And oh my, I love it. I love every bit of it. Doing the damn thing out here. Some of us talk about it. Some people do it. Some people are afraid to do it. But see, therein lies the difference between success and, let's just say, mediocrity. Let's just say maybe you get there a different way. Maybe you work for somebody and you retire after 20, 25, 30 years. That's a way you can do it as well. But if you want a shortcut, if there's such a thing, you have to buy assets that pay you. And that's the only way it counts here, ladies and gentlemen. George's Charles, P4, looking good each day. He's talking about Primavera 4 in Punta Cana, Dominican Republic, that has its own man-made beach. And yes, it does look pretty awesome. I have to admit, it's about the size of the beach at Vista Cana, except it's on a like a kidney shape. So you really don't realize how big it is because it turns, it bends around a corner, but it has a clubhouse with restaurant, with bar coming, and another seating area under palapas. That's right. And then they still have loungers and cabanas around the lake. It's pretty big. They have little palm trees. They have, and they have decks too, which I don't even know what they're calling this. They have double decks outside where you can just lounge. It's almost like co-working spaces or something. I don't fully know what it is, but it's pretty cool, all by the man-made beach. So you got to show some love. These are villas, ladies and gentlemen. Can you believe you can buy villas for $130 a square foot? You heard me. $130 a square foot. Some people are starting to calculate. They're going, wait a minute, are you really saying a 2,000 square foot villa is going to cost me $2,600? Yes. 260,000, sorry. But 260,000? Yes. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Try that in America. Yeah, I'm just saying. All right, here we go. Now, Brian P., he always brings something here, ladies and gentlemen. He always brings something on a live stream. You just never know what you're going to miss out on. You just never know. So now what we do here, since it's live stream, you notice the chat is open. You don't get blocked. You can ask questions. Notice this is also SSN Academy, SSN University. It's the No Gurus it's like we don't have Let's see. Okay, I don't have the stock price is 53.27. That almost is mirroring JP Morgan, JEPI, JEPQ. So now we need a rate of return of 10% dividends like JP Morgan's ETF, right? So here's what I'm going to do. Let me see if I have it on the screen. It's not on the screen. That's weird. We have a delay. That is weird. What is, oh, hold on a second. I have something else going on in the background. Okay. Now, okay, wait, what? There we go. And why is this not coming on? We have a little problem here. All right, well, it'll get there eventually. I guess let's see what this dividend is for FEPI. They don't want to talk about it. Says 11/27/2023. Looks like $1.15. So is this for real? They're talking about like 25%. That would be $1 every month. Let me see. 25% of 50 is like 50. Yeah, that's like $1 every month. If that happens, that would be like $15. That would be about right. Let me go look. 15 divided by 53. Let's go look. Yeah, that's 28%. If that's the case, that's what they're claiming. Let me see. Do we really have a dividend? They got a distribution of 25.08%. 30-day SEC yield is 4%. No, 0.04%. $1.15. So it just started or something. I see 11/24/2023. Ex-dividend date was November 27th. The next ex-dividend date. So you would have had to buy by November 27th. The first payout would have been for you. When would the first payout be? 12/28. So they pay at the end of the month. So their first one was $1.15. If they pay $1.15 every month, well, then that's pretty significant. 25%, ladies and gentlemen. Pretty significant. So thank you so much for the FEPI for everybody on podcast. That's F as in Frank, E as in Eric, P as in Paul. I thank you. I appreciate it. All right. Let's go. Once again, smash the like button. Here we go. Paul Castillo. He says, Eric, what's the latest in Cabo Rojo? That area has one of the best beaches in the world, Playa de las Aguilas. Well, the latest is hotels have bought up all the freaking land that's off by the water. Hotel groups. They just announced the tourism, Dominican Republic today. I just released episode 14. Cabo Rojo Tourism Board. The Senate just approved that they can have their own tourism area. So once again, it's going to go boom. You guys know about it. What you're going to do about it. If you're a business person, if you're an investor, you need to find out more. He spelled it right. Cabo Rojo. There you go. So, yes, he's got it all correct, and they're taking advantage of it. And David Collado, the Minister of Tourism, he announced Samana is going to be one hell of a playground. So he's given a signal that more hotels, 5-star, 4-star type luxury brands are moving over there, which we already knew, but he's given it some indication that there's going to be more. So these two areas, along with Pedernales, you have opportunity zones along with Macau and north, or I guess it would be called west of Macau. Those are the spots that you can do serious damage. But don't forget, even in Punta Cana, Cap Cana, La Romana, even in already established areas, you still have opportunity because the place is still like a jungle all over the place. But you don't own the land, and you're going to have to figure out how you're going to get into the ball game. All right, Eric, what's the latest? Well, we gave you the latest. Paul Castillo, you know information. All right, Vanessa Comagate, he offered me one for $14K. Well, see, this is where I have the little problem. You know It was supposed to be 13K in the first place until they came up with this last minute 30 grand, 35 grand craziness that put people way out. That was just ridiculous, unproven, untested. So again, we got to have proof and testing. How many of those are in the United States? Because I'm pretty sure we have at least a few people that bought those things at 30 grand. But 14 grand was where it was supposed to be from the get-go. I don't feel that's like better. Better would be 5 grand. That would be better. Minimize the risk, because quite frankly, again, I still don't think that's a standalone unit, even the vending machine. I really don't. I find that very hard. The more I thought about it, I was like, yeah, it sounds good. And now I'm sitting here going to the islands, and it's kind of like you can't even put it in a, I mean, where can you really put it unmanned? And it just seems, I don't know if it would, it's hard to tell. Have to take a chance sometimes, but research. That's the key right there. 14K. I feel offended. I'm like, that's what you told us from the get-go. You said 13, I think it was 13.5 or 13.9. So it was 14K anyhow. That's what it was supposed to be. But acting like you double the price and then now you're giving me a deal, that's what they do on Black Friday. I'm just playing. I'm just saying. I mean, now you're going to have to prove something to me. Now you're going to have to show me that these things are making money here in the United States. I don't really care what's happening in Europe. I'm not there. I don't really care wherever else it is. I don't care. Let's see how it's working in US, because I want to go look at it. I want to see somebody how it works. If it actually works remotely, or do people actually have to stand there to assist? Let me know. That's what I want to know. Brian P says, yes, $1 per month. Brand spanking new. I like brand spanking new. That's a great deal right there. You are welcome, says Brian P. And ladies and gentlemen, you should be thanking Brian P as well, dropping another gem in the house on a money-making Monday live stream, and no course to buy, no stock club to buy into, no money to send to Brian P or myself or anybody here. That's why the university is free. The No Guru Zone, ladies and gentlemen. Just saying. All right. Let us know. There we go. Mo Better's in the house. Another investor is here. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream with the icon next to your name. I greatly appreciate that, Mo. And he says, what's up, SSN Nation? What's up, E? I'm doing well, man. Hopefully you're doing well. And he says, we in the building again, showing the strength. And he's got that right, got the notification and trailer, and he smashed that like button. I love it. Thank you so much for that, Mo. And once again, investors in the house. And by the way, Mo Better's here, E White's here, and George's Charles on the live stream. Well, you guys know it's almost been an hour, but it's premature. You know, one of the favorite vids that came out of the SSN Lifestyle Punta Cana Real Estate Investors and Business Forum was this impromptu on the cliff, even though it's not going to be the intro, but it's the intro. So whenever we talk about anything that has to do with Larimar in the future, this would be the intro. So you guys might as well get used to it. So check it out. Next time we have Gwen on, this will be the intro. Next time they have a new promotion or something else is going on, like that promotion, buy and fly. Yep, up to $800, $1,000, or $1,500. If you fly over there, buy something from them, they will pay for your airfare. Buy and fly promotion. Now, I have to show this because the fellas were on point. And this was only one take, which is remarkable. It was not rehearsed. It was nothing. We just did. I'm going to do the intro. I'm going to do the norm. We're going to do this, that. Done. Let's go. And this is what happened, ladies and gentlemen. Organic, natural.
Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And today, oh yes, the #1 project in all of Punta Cana, Dominican Republic, called Larimar City and Resort. We're here. You need to come down here and get your unit ASAP. And welcome. Stop Struggling Now gear. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's the kind of stuff that's happening down there in the Dominican Republic in October, November, December. It's going down. And we're going back in May, ladies and gentlemen, May 10th to the 15th. Stay tuned. You can't buy your tickets right now. Yes, that's what's going to cost you because we have to set up some things. We got to have a little bit of fun this time, a little bit different type of fun this time, right? And it's a few more days because there's going to be so many things to check out while we're there because we're over there checking out projects. And it takes time. You're hanging out 2, 3, 4 hours goes by. You drive over to one, get the lay of the land, drive somewhere else, get the lay of the land. Next thing you know, 3 hours then went by. You still have to drive back 20, 30 minutes in either directions. So you could easily spend 4, 5, 6 hours just with one person. It's not that difficult for time to fly by. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is what's going to go down in May. And this one's going to be a little bit bigger, badder, bolder. All right. And we will be eating at La Brouhaha, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Mo better. All right. E. White and George. What's up, fellas? Mo, we missed you, bro. From George's Charles. Exactly. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, you know, time has come. Crypto is happening. Business opportunities is happening. Later this week, crypto, not crypto related, later this week will be a business opportunity. I hope to have someone on the live stream, hopefully Wednesday or Thursday. We can discuss it. You'll have a Ring of Fire opportunity, an SSN Lifestyle Ring of Fire opportunity, but it has nothing to do with crypto. All right? Business is what it has to do with. Getting in early means a couple of things. You guys have watched Shark Tank, right? That's the reason for the Ring of Fire. The Shark Tank situation is this. If you can get in, and our own Professor Auntie Val was that close and was filmed for the Shark Tank episode. It just didn't hit the airwaves, but she went through everything. That's right. We have superstars in the house. Vanessa Comegate, the seamless genius, the superstar with the Shark Tank. That's right. She went through it. You have steps, ladies and gentlemen, and she went through all the steps. Got great feedback from the Sharks. Just didn't hit the TV. That's all. Check it out, though. You have an opportunity. Just like a shark. If somebody comes to you and says, hey, this is what I want to promote, just like on Shark Tank, you are a shark. You get to say, hey, guys, yes, I'll put some money in. Or you could say, hey, why don't we all chip in and put some money in? Well, the Ring of Fire is where we all chip in. You could always do it by yourself. So that gives you opportunity and options. But how often do you pay attention to Shark Tank? You hear Mr. Wonderful trying to get the deals of a lifetime where he starts saying, hey, you know, give me a royalty in perpetuity because I'm giving you $500,000, you know, and I won't take any equity, but I'll get my royalties or I'll get some dividends every month for perpetuity. You can keep the equity. I mean, come on. So you will have an opportunity in this one where you can actually put a little bit of money in. And how about receiving royalties for life? I'm using the word royalty, but that's not what it's actually going to be called. But I'm just saying, can you imagine what you invested, you get back, and then you have some equity stake? Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, right place, right time, or is it a dud? Well, you will determine that, not me. It's not, I'm not doing it. So again, the guy will present, you can check it out, then you can decide. I have seen, let's call it the early editions. I have seen it. So I won't know what he brings to the table when he shows up this week. Hopefully it's this week. I want him to come by Wednesday or Thursday because Friday, hey, it's a Dominican Republic, ladies and gentlemen. What can I say? We're off to the races once again. I have a feeling the island is going to be like Island life, man. Except us not Jamaica or anything. We're going to be in the DR. All right, let's go. George, miss you, big homie. Been busy, but you know we excited about May Part 2. Exactly, Mo Better. Saying it like it is. If you guys missed anything, you need to go check out some of this activity. We did a live stream, or shall I say, the fellas did a live stream, or shall I say, Mo Better opened up the live stream at Stop Play at the nightclub. We did a live stream from the nightclub, Stop Play, nightclub, lounge, restaurant. They have drinks you can eat. You listen to music. There you have it, right there in Los Corrales, El Cordacito, right where El Dorado Plaza is across the street. Citrus is there. I can't remember all the places that are there, but Citrus is there. Most people know where Citrus is, and Stop Play. They trying to make things happen. It should happen because high seasons, well, tick tock. It's starting now. The 15th of every month is when it starts in my book. That's what I have for high seasons when it comes to islands. The 15th through like the 1st or the 2nd of January. Those are the Christmas and New Year's time frame where families are off. So these locations that are 70, 80, 85 degrees, for a lot of people, that's where they want to be. All right, let's go. Eric, your first order of business Friday is getting to La Bruja. Exactly. I'm staying at Coral Village, straight up, again. So I will be eating at La Bruja promptly at 5 p.m. I'm just saying. That's where I'm going to be eating, at La Bruja, 5 p.m., 5:30 p.m. I'll be there eating. We'll be there eating, man. That's for sure. That's one of the reasons I'm staying. Coral Village is in like the right spot, right place. Prices are right. And so every time I stay, there's no reason. I mean, you don't have to pay but $550, $600 for a week in a one bedroom. Come on. Where can you get that from? And then I walk right outside and I got my favorite place there, La Bruja. So this time, though, I'm going to go next door and check out that one Tribol or whatever. I've never eaten there. Maybe, did you guys ever eat next door at Tribol, the place across the driveway? Because I never did. So I was like, why? I could order salmon. I can order big ass hamburgers. They had to be like 9 inches across. Basically, the hamburgers were for 2 people. It was crazy. Then the ribs, the short ribs. Everything was excelente. So there's no reason for me to go off the reservation, but I'm going to go off the reservation. I'm going to check out the next door spot and see what they're doing. Victor Marrero, welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. He's up early, ladies and gentlemen, because he says his tagline tonight. And he has the icon next to his name. Hello, all from Valencia, Spain. Full tapas menu and drinks for 2 for 15 euros. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. Every time you leave the country, you find out you're overpaying. My God, look at this. I came to the conclusion America's overcharging us. Exactly, Victor Marrero. You're the one that travels all over the place. You already knew that. All right. We're on the wrong side of the ocean. Exactly. You're on the right side of the ocean, right continent right now. America is draining citizens, visitors, tourists. It's draining what they're doing to people over here in America. Like I said all along, America's a third world country, but you don't know it yet. Sooner or later, you got to pay for all this war machines. You got to pay for stepping into other countries and going over there acting like you're the big boy. Sooner or later, you ain't going to have enough money to keep paying for that. And if you keep making sure that the rich people don't have to pay taxes on the same average that ordinary citizens do, guess what? There's going to be a problem. And here we are. And inflation is where we are. It's going to keep going. It's capitalist society. But Victor Marrero is over in Valencia, Spain. And he's like, I know what it's like, Victor. When you go out the country and the guy came after you had your tapas and drinks and you're sitting there having a nice time, they bring you the bill and you see this thing that looks like $15 And you're sitting there going, you know, I had 2 or 3 drinks. We each had 2 or 3 drinks. We had all this food, little tapas, like you said. I think you gave me the wrong bill. And when they say, no, sir, this is your bill, you're like, oh my God, what am I doing wrong? I need to come back. I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. I hear you, Victor Morrell. That's exactly how most people feel when they don't go to those destinations that are typically tourist traps. I have the beef ribs for me and the homies. Have the beef ribs for me and the homies. You know what's happening, Mo Better, with those. You know what's happening. That I'm just going to be just like you. I'm going to order, eat them there, order my second one to take with me. That's what I'm going to be doing with that. And I'm going to have some of the fish. I'm going to be eating hamburgers one day. I'm going to do all kind of crazy over there. All right. The only thing I didn't really try is I don't even know if they have actually just a salad of some sort. I haven't tried that yet, but I'm pretty sure that's good because the actual normal food is good. So you got to love that, Victor. Enjoy, brother. You deserve it. Exactly, Mr. Retirement, coming up soon in about 3 to 4 to 5 months. It's going to be awesome. So, yeah, you know, Georges Charles made part of the SSN Nation. SSN Nation. Everyone needs to show up. Exactly, Georges Charles. You guys, you seriously missed out. There's going to be, this one's going to have even more opportunities for all of you. We have over 50 people that's buying property in the Dominican Republic. How would you like to have your own custom furniture? That deal I'm going to be trying to get done this week when I'm over there, because we don't have where there's going to be 10 or 15 units delivered right now. But over the next 3 years, we're going to have over 50 people here in the SSN Nation that are going to have delivery of units in the DR, and even some more. Because over time, we'll be talking about when they're starting to dig like at Cruise on Land. All of a sudden, they started busting out. We're going to find out. I'm going to be there. I need to see some bulldozers, not one, not two. I need to see several bulldozers. I need to see some men out there doing something. I need to see some cement being poured. I don't want to see no digging right now. That's easy. I want to see some serious, work going down. But nonetheless, at least if they start, it's a good sign. So this is what's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to make sure that you know what to do. And this furniture package is significant because when you have to make choices that's going down, here's the choices that people are having to make right now. When they're over there and they're saying, hey, I'm going to go check out some furniture. The first thing that happens is they go down to the furniture store. They see a sofa. The guy at the sofa place says that'll be $3,000. Then you said $3,000. Wait, this is a simple sofa. Right. $3,000. Take it or leave it. Where else are you going to go? You're on an island. So you're like, damn. And then you go look at the dining room table. And they say, well, yeah, that's $2,500. And you're like, it barely even seats 6 people. And it's only like 6 feet long. It's not even 8 feet long or nothing. Yeah, well, $2,500 to $3,000. Okay, what about these chairs? Well, $300-400 each. Okay, so you're already up to $8-9 grand, and you haven't even done anything yet. You're going to still need some beds, right? And so now they're going to say $1,500, $2,000. I mean, things add up very quickly, and you still haven't done anything yet. You need a platform. What are you going to put underneath the bed? I mean, where are you going to get dressers? I'm just saying, stuff adds up pretty rapidly when you're in an overpriced market, when you have building going on. This is the whole reason tourism, people are coming in. When they're building and people are getting their villas, their townhomes, and their condos, now who wins? The furniture stores. So what do we need? We need wholesale pricing. Instead of paying $3,000 for that sofa, we get it for $1,000. Isn't that much better? Instead of paying $2,500, $3,000 for a coffee or a dining room table, you pay $1,000 to $1,500. Isn't that better? The whole bedroom set. Georges Charles knows, he was there. Whole bedroom set with a dining desk built into it, with the nice little brown backing, all that, all one unit built to your room specifications. The guy said $4,000. And I'm like, okay, 1,000. Okay. Because if you were at a furniture store, they're going to tell you something like $7,000, $8,000. So it makes things a lot easier if you have things already set up as a pack and it's to your specifications. I'll give you some specifications when I come back. So some people, SSN Lifestyle, you guys know we have Founders Club members over there, and I'm working on this deal that I may have recuperated from a lost cause deal, but it may be fine. And if it works out, then I will be doing measurements in the unit, and I will give you an example of how we're going to do this. So you make the measurements of the wall lengths, ceiling heights, then you do it online where you want your furniture, how you design it, and everything. You order it. It'll be here in 90 days, not here, but in the Dominican Republic, 90 days. And it's whatever you picked out, colors, fabrics, whatever you picked out specifically for you. Now, is that worth spending 20 grand with? Hell yeah. I think so. Is it worth 10 grand? Hell yeah. Can we get to 10 grand is the question. Well, if we do the whole bedroom set, yeah, we'll get there easily. 2 bedrooms, that's 8 G's. But it's going to be special, custom. Nobody else has it because you made it one of a kind. I'm just saying. And that means also you get to charge more money because it looks good. All right. So that's just a little something that you have to think about, ladies and gentlemen. Victor Morel says he's leaving Valencia tomorrow for Malaga, then Seville, then Madrid, then flying to Portugal and back to Madrid. Good God. Not sure I want to go back to the land of bills and no life. Victor Morel, no matter where you live, you're going to have bills. But I understand what you're saying. You're loving life over there in the Riviera, hanging out on these big time, centuries old cities. I understand, man. You guys know I love Europe. You understand. And I'll be going over to Europe probably, I don't know, March. I think March, somewhere in there. March, April, maybe. It's either March or April. Vanessa accommodated Victor Morel, poor unfortunate souls here in the USA. Exactly. That's what it is. It seriously is. That George, that's right, bro. May part 2 gonna be epic. Yes, it is, ladies and gentlemen. It will be epic for sure. Victor Morel says, you know what's crazy? No restaurants here expect tip. See, Victor, come on, man. You know that. You know, see, this is the thing. It's only in America, the third world country. Look, you know, this is why the knock on Europeans when they go on vacation is they don't tip. That's because their culture, they don't tip. It's like you do your job. It's not like, what are you talking about tip part? Where I signed up to get a paycheck. That's my job. Now, the employer paying the appropriate wage, maybe another story, but the fact of the matter is the no tipping thing is real. You don't tip. Hey, you know what? Like I said, years ago, freaking 10, 15 years ago, used to be in over in Europe, and they would come to your table with your when you pay for your meals with the the merchant processor. And then America's just like, I don't know why we have all this fraud. And I'm just like, because people give their cards to people so they can go over there and use the merchant processing machines. That's how fraud happens. One way, there's several. I'm just like, but in Europe, they were already using these things where you said, hey, you got to pay for it right here at the table. We don't want to touch your stuff. You know, I mean, so just like that, and there is no tips. Exactly. There's no such thing in reality. I mean, it's kind of wild. In a lot of places around the world, no tips. Like I said, at Hard Rock in Punta Cana, the first time I went there was wild. I was at the Benihana's, and the guy was so good. I left like a $20 tip. At least I thought it was a tip. So I left $20 when we're leaving. And so I'm walking down the hallway and these people are running after me. Sir, here's your $20. I'm like, what? What's going on? We know we can't take your money. I was like, what? I was like, that's a tip. They're like, no tips. It was crazy. And then I forgot about that. And I was in the bar right where the rotunda is. I don't remember the name of the bar, but at Hard Rock. And again, just by habit, I'm getting drinks. And once again, I laid down a $5 bill. The bartender's like, no, can't take it. I was like, oh man, you guys getting carried away up in here. For me. But the European people, they're like, what are you doing? I was like, what do you mean? It was crazy. But that's it, Victor Morel. You're right. You're right. You try to get, he says it. You try to give €5, they look at you like you're crazy. Oh, see? A nice lady told me yesterday that was too much. This is a lifestyle for me. Yeah, Victor Morel, I didn't even realize you put that in. Yeah, exactly. This is what I'm talking about. It's crazy. Thanks, Mo. Just trying to enjoy life. That's right, Victor Morel. You deserved it, man. You earned it. Hey, you put in the work, Victor. Like I said, real estate investments, stock investments, working at the job, putting in the work, getting that retirement pension stuff going down. Hey, this is what it looks like on the other side. So now health is wealth as well. So make sure you take care of yourself. Hi, Vanessa. Yes, agree. The USA keeps you poor. When people here are going out to eat and enjoying life for a quarter of our salary, yeah, that tells you something is wrong with our country. Yeah. Capitalism has run amok. Like I said, I don't like getting into, I look, when we start talking about our government, USA is pretty cool, but the reality of the situation is things are going to get worse because our officials, our congressmen, our judges, our governments can be bribed, and it's legal. So it's just a matter of time that you can have an Amazon HQ and a city's like, oh, yeah, we'll give you whatever. Never mind about the citizens. The citizens are paying for the whatever they give them, the free land, the free building, the hundreds of millions of dollars. And I'm like, wait, you're giving billionaires hundreds of millions of dollars to build their business. I'm like, this is just absurd. But that's what's going on. And it takes a toll over time. That's why the middle class is getting ultimately wiped out. And T-minus 3 months. You guys already see what's happening. Stocks started going up. Crypto, which is not even really a stock play, but ETFs are now in play. If you don't know what an ETF is, that means there's people that have applied, companies have applied to have funds like your funds with a group into an ETF. Now they can go buy crypto. Think about this. That means there's hundreds of millions of dollars at their disposal to go buy crypto, which means that goes up. That's what happens with stocks. You're giving your money to a 401k. It's going to a company that has hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars. They can manipulate the market. But you're an individual. They give you your 10%. But in reality, they have hundreds of millions of dollars under management. They get to do all kinds of things. They can short over here, right? They can buy a company at shares at a lower price that's not on the stock market. They have advantages that you as an individual don't. So therefore, you're giving them the bullets. That's the thing. You need the bullets in your chambers. You need the duffel bag of cash. You need the bullets in your chamber. Invest in your assets and keep those assets. Yes, we talk putting our money in stocks. This is true. We have no choice. Where else are you going to get 25% annually dividends? Seriously. You're going to make 25% this year. You're going to make 25% next year. You're going to guarantee yourself 25% profits every year while you're sitting at home? Seriously. You better get on board, ladies and gentlemen, because T-minus 3 months. It might be T-minus 2 weeks. All I know is I keep telling you guys, it's going to be a rough ride. if the stock market is doing what it's doing, the crypto is doing what it's doing right now, there's only one thing left: the housing market. And that's already too high. So if they reduce the interest rate, oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, there's going to be an appreciation like you have never seen over the next 2 or 3 years. All right? You're going to be left behind if you're holding no assets. You're going to have to hold assets. You don't want to be like in Europe. Victor Morero's over there in Europe right now. Laverne Penix is going to be going over there as well. Mr. and Mrs. Cool. So here's the thing. Europe is ahead of us. They've already done this. This is why in France, UK, Germany, there's already a disparity between have and have nots because they went through this. And the retirement gang. What happened is when they had the reduced interest rates in the early 2000s, meaning negative interest rates, the people who retired, like Victor Morero's getting ready to retire, right? They have money and they had to figure out where to put the money. So they couldn't put it in a bank. The bank was giving zero returns. In fact, you leave your money in a bank, they were saying, sorry, sir, you need to send us 1% of your balance annually. Can you imagine having $500,000 in the bank and they're talking to like, send us 1%? That's your fee every month, annually, divided by 12? You would be like, have you lost your freaking mind? So therefore, people couldn't invest or leave their money in a bank. So then what did they do? The only natural thing to do. You're going to put your money in the stock market. And then what happens if the stock market crashes? Your savings, your investments down. And now what? You said, oh, I had 500,000. Now I have 200,000. And you're 75 years old or 70 years old. That is not a good thing. This is about what's going to happen in America as well. Because when they reduce the interest rate this next time, homes will not be 400,000 or 500,000 that they are now. Try $1 million. All right. Now, who's going to be able to afford that $1 million pad? The only people, those who bought assets, because no job is going to be paying you $250,000, $350,000 a year unless you're in a specialized environment, and there's only a few million of those specialized environments. So don't act crazy out here right now, ladies and gentlemen. Stream. Economy booming. Is it booming really? Not really, but all the signs that are important for the top 10% is, and the top 10% make the most wealth. So therefore, you have to be in the game. Otherwise, you're going to get left behind. All right. You've heard me talk about this for 5 years. It's happening right before your very eyes. Everything's happening except this last time. I'm very fearful. Very fearful. If you don't have real estate, I don't really care where it is. If you don't have a way to monetize real estate, those are assets that go up. So what ends up happening is, even if you buy real estate right now, it goes up. But the way our credit markets work, you can borrow against that asset. The value that it increases, you can borrow against it. So then you can always go buy more assets that pay you. That's the key. You can't just go get a car and then the car prices go up and then tap into it. You could in theory, but you don't really want to do that. It's a liability. What are you going to do? Rent out your freaking Lambo or something? That's not a wise idea. You can't Airbnb Lambos. You could, but it's not wise. All right. Dirty little secret. There's rental companies and there's usually they go out of business. There's a reason. The upkeep on them bad boys is serious. All right. So think about that. That's a liability. So don't do it. You need assets that pay you, and getting in right now while the prices are good on the stock market for these dividend funds or ETF funds, This is why it's important. Getting in on pre-construction, if you don't want to buy a house, and quite frankly, it's hard to buy a house when prices are what they are, especially if you have to live in it, because that's a liability. You don't really want to do that. You want to put yourself in a situation, multifamily, maybe 2, 3, 4 plex to start. FHA, not bad. Freddie, Fannie Mae, not bad, right? You could get it 3% down. It's possible, but the possible won't be possible later if you don't get your ass in gear and start looking now. It's going to be slim pickings, because guess who else is going to be looking for it? The top 1%ers, because they have the disposable income. So when you say I found something for $1 million and it's a 4-plex or a 8-plex, whatever, those guys are just like, okay, just give them 1.5 million because we got a deal where we have interest only for 15 years at 2%. You can't beat that. All right. So get real, ladies and gentlemen. I hate to be Mr. Cold Hard Facts, but this is how it goes. You can't just sit idly by on this next one. You can say, okay, I've been working at my job for 15, 20 years. I'm going to have a pension. Yeah, well, tell that to the Yellow Freight guys. Tell that to the Sears people. Tell that to the teachers fund in Kentucky, the pension fund in Kentucky that no longer exists. Come on. Don't be foolish out here, ladies and gentlemen. Any disposable income, instead of buying liabilities, you need to get on board. This is immensely important. All right. So again, yep, and yep. Yeah, facts, says Seamless Genius. Cracking down on LLCs. There you go. It's happening. It's going to, yeah, that's another thing. See, this is another thing. Everybody's out here happy. They got an LLC or whatever, an S Corp, corporation, and you've been able to dodge and duck. Like, for instance, Have Stuff, SSN Lifestyle, Florida. Residential wise, Cali. But it's online, so it doesn't really matter, right? So it's cool. But the fact of the matter is, here's what's going to happen. First of all, people aren't going to file. That's what's going to happen, because you have to give out your information. If you are an owner of an LLC, you can no longer do this. Well, I'm going to use some fake or another corporation and all this stuff. You have to give an individual name. People don't want to do that. So I'm just like, why not? But it's public knowledge anyhow. So instead, you got to put your name. You can't put your trust. You can't put any other business name. You got to put your name on those BOIs, ladies and gentlemen, which, by the way, I got to make a video about that. So the BOI, and not only is it that, anybody that has 25% more of ownership, their name needs to be on it. And that's going to be in FinCEN. That's DOJ stuff. Start messing around, writing in false information like these PPP clowns. You're going to find yourself in a court case with the DOJ. And I'm just going to tell you right now, lawyers these days, you roll in on a United States government case, he says 50 G's, 60 G's, if retainer. And most people aren't going to have that. So you mess around and you're going to get the favorite tricks that they play. They're setting you up once again for messing around. So you're going to find yourself running businesses. Like, for instance, there's people doing stuff in Wyoming, New Mexico, Nevada, Delaware, wherever you're going, right? They're actually running businesses in the state they live in, but they're claiming the LLCs in another state. They're going to be running this. You understand, in the background, they're going to be running this like, wait, are we collecting taxes in this state? Because he claims the LLCs in Wyoming. But we see shipping, everything is in New Jersey, out of New Jersey. We should be collecting some money. We got issues. This is what's going to happen. All right. Just like I tried to tell you about the PPP, and that's why I never wanted to talk about it. The BOI is even more serious, because there are millions of LLCs and people don't even know about this. And when you get, if you don't file on time, so everybody who has an LLC in 2023, you have 1 year to file. You'll have January 1st through December 31st next year to file. But everybody who files at the next year in 2024, you got 90 days. That's it. And then you could be in breach, and then you're starting to talk about $500 per day. And it's DOJ materials is what I'm trying to get you guys to understand. This isn't no freaking state like, oh, yeah, well, you didn't pay it. Here's this little $25 fine for pay us another time. No, it's $500 a day. What are you going to do? And you're going to, I mean, you're going to be playing around in the wrong playground. And they're doing this again on purpose to make sure they are tracking funds and tracking ownership, because it's money laundering in situations like that. Because we have a situation right now where we have, I hate to say it, we're in the miracle cash and more. We had the NFT, but we have this same situation right now where you have these guys who bought a company in Nevada that's a shell company, right? So then Hakan Torahan puts his wife as the CEO. The wife is the CEO, the treasurer, the secretary. She has all titles. Okay? This is how you used to do it, right? Somebody else could run it behind the scenes. But now the BOI says, okay, so you're the CEO, then you're claiming you have knowledge of everything. You are running the business. You can't claim, I don't know nothing about it. I'm just the CEO. Sorry, those claims are going to go bye-bye. You're signing the BOI report saying you are involved with the business. You own 25% or more. Your name's got to be on there. Every name. You just can't pick and choose. And so later on, if something happens, so be it. You weren't the owner. You claiming you're not the owner. Well, then we're going after the person that is saying they're the owner. So again, you want a fall guy, take them. But all I'm saying is this is what's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen, just like I said about the PPP. And people said, Eric, why don't you talk about it? I told you then, you're going to get in trouble because most people only have 1-man, 2-man LLCs. You don't have 10 employees. You don't have 20 employees. Soon as you write that on that report, that's DOJ. And sure enough, all these people in jail right now because of it. Same thing's going to happen with this, miss that BOI and mess up on that. You'll be in jail. All right. You guys heard it here again first. So cracking down on LLCs is what she's talking about. It's, man, these millions of LLCs are going bye-bye. So just keep that in mind. So when, like I said, when these guys are messing around talking about we're going to have some person that doesn't run nothing and we're going to install them as CEO, and then they're going to talk about they're buying a shell company, and then they're talking about, well, it's an OTC company, it's going to be NASDAQ, and then you go look up the rules of if you're an OTC company, you're trying to up to a NASDAQ or S&P 500 or any of those Dows, you have to have 2 or 3 years of financials. And you have to have X amount of money, and you have to have public shares. They have none of that. So somebody talking crazy, you're going to be in trouble. Mess around and find out. All I'm saying, I get upset. You deserve it. That's right. You deserve it. Victor Morel and Joy, you deserve it. 100% facts. Exactly, ladies and gentlemen. He's worked hard. Just like all of you who are going to work hard. There's people right now that are over here buying pre-construction all over the world. They're sitting there trying to figure out, I need a business plan. I need to figure out getting me a business in place in the right location. And that's what we're doing. Thanks, E. The grass is truly green outside the USA. There are thousands of expats here all over the place. Yeah. Hey, Victor, remember those expats bought their places 150, 200, 250,000. And the life seems like it's I mean, a weight's lifted off the shoulders. They have taxes there. In fact, their taxes are higher than in America, quite frankly. But the fact of the matter is, though, it doesn't seem that bad when pricing and the way everything is priced. It just doesn't seem that bad. I mean, it's just weird. I understand Dubai is getting involved with Bitcoin. Yes, exactly. It's a non-extradition country. Nobody is selling BTC, limiting the supply. That's the price spike. Exactly. With that is ETH also. Exactly. What have we been saying for the last 6, 7, 8 months to a year? BTC, ETH. We said no more crypto projects, no more of these fancy things. Miracle and Debtbox was the last ones. Who knows what's going to happen? But the fact of the matter is, we've been saying this all year. Done. BTC and ETH, the only things that you need to be messing with in the crypto space. Sure, you can win with all these spikes from these new coins that come out if you're a new person, but again, that's not in the long run. You should have one of those, both of those, quite frankly. All right, so exactly, it's fraud, and you will be fined $500 per day. Exactly, it's crazy. It's crazy. People don't even know about it. It's not like they put a public service announcement anywhere. It's crazy. That's why I was hoping to have on our girl Claudia Moncaz come on and do another live stream with this. So she was going to go over it, but now people have talked about it, and so I got to talk about it. And so I'm probably going to actually make a video, and when she comes on, we can talk about other things. But the fact of the matter is, this is going to hurt a lot of people, and it's not only going to be, and by omission won't get you out of it. You can't say I didn't know nothing about it. That's the problem. That's the biggest problem. And this is why you should also have a CPA or accountant that you can tap into. But you guys are here in the SSN Nation. So, well, I'm not an accountant or a CPA, but because Vanessa Akamagate, the Seamless Genius, was talking about it tonight, we talked about it. Last week on Friday night, we talked about it again because, once again, we had Brian P. talking about it again. So that's what we're talking about now. 2 days we've talked about the BOI. In fact, some people might be listening right now. I'm going to give you guys the BOI frequently asked questions. You cannot get the form. The form comes out like January 2nd. So don't try to get it there. You probably, in fact, I think they'll probably be leaked beforehand. But right now, it's what, the 4th of the month. It's not out. They claim the form is not going to be out. So expect it either at the end of December with a few days left or after January 2nd. But there's the link to go look at the frequently asked questions. And oh, by the way, just what's happening with our freaking Miracle Cash Boogie Gopher Club dudes. Same problem. They're doing this with a foreign corporation, right? Foreign corporation has something to do with this company that they're buying because they're not from the U.S., right? So they did this like merger thing. Well, guess what? Foreign corporations have to file the BOI also. You're not immune. So you can't use the old shell company tricks that you used to do and then say you're buying into something. They want that information too. You don't get off the hook. Go look, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, you know what? I should bring it up. Go look for yourself. All right. You'll see. It's on the frequently asked questions straight up on the box. So you can't feign ignorance later when you get this thing. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Here it is. It's cut and dry. It's cut and dry. There's no way out of this. Oh my, what is that? Oh, I see what's happening. Okay, I have some things in the background. Here it is right here. It's cut and dry, ladies and gentlemen. So once again, I reiterate, don't F around. All right? The federal government needs more people in the system. All right? Look at this right here. This is the chart. It's in the frequently asked questions. All right? Under what law was the company created or formed? Laws of a foreign country. Right here. Drop down. Has the company registered to do business in any U.S. state or tribal jurisdiction, even going after the Native American situation. Can you believe that? Remember, that used to be off limits, not no more. By filing a document with Secretary of State or similar office of the state or tribe. If yes, maybe a foreign reporting company. There you go. It's cut and dry. So you think you're going to be trying to do this business? I took over a company from the United States, from my company over in EU. No, sorry. Yes, maybe a foreign reporting company. Sorry. U.S. laws. Is the company a corporation? Yes, maybe a domestic reporting company. If it's not, you say no, you're not a corporation, you're an LLC, right? Well, good. Is the company a limited liability company, LLC? Yes, maybe a domestic reporting company. So you go, I'm not neither. Okay, was the company created by the filing or document with the Secretary of State or any similar office under the law of the state or Indian tribe? Again, no longer Indian tribes getting off the hook. Yes, maybe reporting. The only way you got to go through these and not reporting. That's it. So if you're in business, you would have had to file with the Secretary of State or whatever your state calls it. If you're not, DBAs, oh, by the way, DBAs, you got to report all those too. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Just go check this out, ladies and gentlemen. This helps you out greatly. All right. Yeah. If you have a DBA doing business as, and you think, oh, I don't have to worry about it. Yeah, you got to worry about that too, ladies and gentlemen. You don't get off the hook. All right. I wish I could just pull it up, but you guys check it out yourself. You're going to be like, oh, and there's going to be people doing DBAs going, oh, I don't have to do anything. You have to put down every company. So again, here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to tell you guys again, do not F around because you're going to find out. So here you are. You go, hey, I have a holding company. I have 5 businesses underneath my holding company, and I have a DBA under each one. Guess what? There's a BOI for every freaking one of them. Every one of them. You ain't getting off the hook. Individual names of ownership for every company that is underneath your umbrella. Surprise. Anti-money laundering has just entered the building in the United States, and they're taking it very, very seriously. Game time is over. So when we have one of these guys that's out in Arizona telling people I'm doing the subject to that irritates me to no end, and he's telling people, oh, yeah, I put a company's under, I hide my name. So then when I get, well, he don't really say this, but I hide my name. So when I get sued for the BS I'm spewing, then they can't hold me to it because it's an actual entity instead of me. That day is over now, starting in 2024. Now put your name. Yeah, you can hide yourself, but the BOI is in the FinCEN system. So you're going to be liable for any BS that you're doing out there. So once again, I'm all down for it. You should be fully transparent if you're trying to do business any freaking how. Come on now. All I'm saying, I'm just saying, it gets me upset because this, I know a lot of people that's been doing this crazy crap. And yeah, they get ahead too because they avoid the lawsuits that they would have had. They do shady business that they get by with because they're actually doing shady stuff, but there was never any real rules in place to bar them other than if enough people came forward to complain. Now it doesn't take much. So I'm very happy to hear it myself. So I heard you have only 30 days to file the form if you buy a LLC in Jet. No, it's actually 90. I don't know why people are saying 30. Go under the FAQs, you'll see what it is. It's not 30, it's 90 days. They just seem, you know, they make it seem urgent, but just check out the frequently asked questions. Let me see if I can pull something up real quick. Should my company report ownership information now? No, you can't. The 30 days, There is a 30-day provision, but it's not going to count if you start an LLC in 2024. It's not going to count. It's in 2025, I believe, is the 30-day. In 2024, I think it was the year. I think it was 2024. You got 90 days, but in 2025, it's cut down to 30. So they're assuming the first year people are going to be like, whoa, what do you mean? Right? What's happening? What is this? So they're giving people a little leeway. 30 days is a short time because people open up their corporations, then they're running around doing, trying to get their business started, right? Weren't about licenses or didn't know anything about it. So they're giving people at least a year, and they're giving people, anybody for 2024, 90 days. Anybody that has an LLC right now, if you get an LLC right now, then you have 365 days to file that BOI. So as long as you get your LLC now in 2023, then you have a whole year. But if you get an LLC in 2024, you got 90 days. And if you get an LLC in 2025, you got 30 days. I think that's what it is. You guys are going to have to look through this. But there are, like I mentioned on Friday, there are exemptions, but that's generally in the financial field. Why the financial field, like banking and stocks and things like that, is because people need licenses. You're already fingerprinted. Your name's in the system. They know who you are. You can't use like a company to shield who you are when you're the individual. So that's why there's going to have these companies that are going to have exemptions. Yeah, here's this one right here about beneficial owner who holds their ownership interest in the reporting company through multiple exempt entities, but that's exempt. But anyhow, I can't go through each one of these. There's several. Here we go. Maybe that's I don't know where the dates are, but that's the date. It has something to do with the year, and I think it's 2024. You got 90 days, 2025. You got you've got 30 days. And can you imagine all these companies that's not going to file in 90 days or 30 days? And they're getting some things sent to them talking about a week or two later, talking about you had to pay $500 per day to reinstate. I mean, this is going to be wild. It is legal name. See, here it is, ladies and gentlemen, right here. Legal name, any trade names, doing business ads, or trading as names. All of that has to be on there. I'm serious. This is crazy. The current street address or principal place of business if the address is in the USA. For reporting companies whose principal place of business is outside the United States, the current address from which the company conducts business in the United States. For example, a foreign reporting company's U.S. headquarters. See, this is going to get people locked up because you have a foreign corporation, you're operating in the United States, and then you're going to claim, oh, I'm overseas. Wrong. You have to have a U.S. They want to know where it is. You think they're going to allow you to have a P.O. box? No, ain't going to happen. All right. I'm telling you guys, don't mess around. This is going to be pretty bad. All right. Here it is. Individual's name, date of birth, residential address, and identifying number for an acceptable identification document such as passport, U.S. driver's license, name of issuing state or jurisdiction, so they can check it out if need be to see if it's fraudulent. I'm telling you, it's going to be bad for some people messing around and finding out. All right. Here it is. For each individual who is a company applicant, a reporting company will have to provide the same damn thing. So when you start using what our friends Miracle are doing, CEO Ebru Torhan, that's fine. She's going to be fall guy because you play around and act like you're the sole person and then turn around and say, oh, no, they made this decision. They're going to be like, what are you talking about? We don't see anything saying they're an owner of the company because they're not on a BOI report. It's going to be bad. Very, very bad. All right. So don't mess around, ladies and gentlemen. With a seriousness. Here we go. When do I have to file? Here it is. If your company existed before January 2024, it must be filed in its initial benefit report by January 2025. So see, you got the full year. Here it is right here, in fact, so we can clear it up. If your company was created or registered on or after January 1, 2024, and before January 2025, then it must file its initial beneficial ownership information report within 90 calendar days. There you go. After receiving actual or public notice that its creation or registration is effective. Specifically, this 90-day calendar deadline runs from the time the company receives actual notice. So in other words, in some states, like you could be in California, file it, not electronically, it gets stamped a week or two later. So that stamp date is the date that the calendar starts. All right. That's the creation date, let's say, as an example. Now, here it is. If your company was created or registered on or after January 1st, 2025, then must file its beneficial ownership report within 30 calendar days. Or again, or public notice that is creation or registration. There it is. So I was right. I just wasn't sure, but I'm right. 20. So 90 days for anybody that registers. Well, you have a whole year as long as your LLC was formed before January 1 of 2024. If you register or form an LLC or corporation in 2024, then you have 90 calendar days. When you get to 2025, you got 30 calendar days. You know how many businesses are going to be out of business? Man, it's crazy. And I thought I had this on screen. What happened? Damn it. Thought I was. But anyhow, here's where the report. It's in G. So I put the frequently asked. It's number G is the dates, so you can see that. I put the link in the chat room. I'll put it in the chat room again because this is big time for all you business owners. Don't mess around. You're gonna get pulverized effing around with that. All right, I put it in the chat room again. I thought I had this on screen. I should have looked, but. And if you want to find out, you go down to F section, F3. All right. F3 is what information will reporting company have to report about its beneficial owners. That's F3 and F4. And so when you're thinking about your foreign corporation or owners, all owners that have 25% or more, you're going to have to put their residential address, their date of birth, their individual real name with the ID and ID number and the jurisdiction and everything has to be a photocopy ultimately as well. That's right. You're not going to be able to go with fake stuff because when they check it out and they find out it's fake, guess what? There's going to be repercussions for that as well. All right. First, it'll be a letter. Then it's going to be like, hey, we need this rectified. Then you're going to be like, hey, we're going to have to revoke something is what they'll probably end up doing. I don't know all of the penalties, but I know $500 a day is one of them. And you don't want to be in that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there you go. There we go. So not 30 days, but you got 90 for right now. You got 30 days starting 2025. They don't play at that point. It's going to be pretty serious. There, I'm thinking about doing the LC myself in the next few months. Any recommendations on what to do and not what to do? Okay. Well, the LLC portion, it doesn't really matter. There's nothing. It's like the BOI is going to be, you got to do it in 90 calendar days from when they stamp you or give you your LLC. You have to do the BOI report. That's the only major thing you got to remember because that's going to end up being real major. $500 a day for most small businesses is not something they can sustain. They can't handle that. Look, just keep in mind, there's certain things. I don't know where you live, but like in Florida, again, they have no taxes. LLCs, no taxes. When you do a corporation, though, they'll tax you. But if you do an LLC, you're not going to be taxed. You don't have to do any paperwork, quite frankly. I mean, you got to do some paperwork. But what I'm trying to say is, as far as tax paperwork, no. Just like an individual, you're exempt. So that's cool. Other states, though, you're not exempt. And then if you, some states are better to have an LLC, but it all depends on your business. There's really no downside. It just protects you, limited liability. So if you need a bank account and you can deal with online, then go see Blue Vine. Blue Vine. You can get a bank account with them. All right. Let's see. There's really, I mean, just don't do crazy stuff that people try to get you to do crazy, you know? Like I said, they'll tell you to get something in Wyoming, quite frankly, is one of the places that you don't have to have the owner's name is not shown. And the charging documents. So if somebody wanted the information, Wyoming will say, go F off. Ain't going to happen. We're not giving out information. So you could hide stuff until now, until the BOI comes out. All right. Now, FinCEN does not make the information public, so you don't have to worry about that. FinCEN themselves does not give the public the residential addresses, they don't give all the personal information out. It's not out. All right. So it's in their FinCEN system. It's just for them, the federal government and their organizations to know. So if anything ever happens, like I said, DOJ's at your door. All right. So that's all they're using it for. You F around and take people's money or don't do what you're supposed to do in the long runs, or you get, it generally takes a threshold and it takes a lot of people to say, hey, this happened. But once that happens, you're in the system. They can track you. And I got news for you. If you're not in Dubai, you're not in Cyprus, you're not in Bali, and about another 10 other spots, you're not coming back to America. All right? That's all I'm going to tell you. You're not coming back, because soon as your passport comes up, or as soon as your fingerprints come up somewhere, or your facial recognition comes up somewhere, and you've heard of people that have landed in America, changing planes at the airport, and DOJ is there to get them. All right. So this is going to stop a lot of this crazy. So people are going to go to Dubai, do crazy stuff, go to Cyprus, do crazy stuff, go to Indonesia, do crazy stuff. Well, you're going to be in exile. Fine. All right. Keep playing around. Playtime's over. But as far as you, Paul Castillo, I'm nothing to worry about. I mean, there's no do's or don'ts. Maybe somebody else will chime in. It all depends on your state. I mean, there's a lot of factors. What is your state? What state do you live in? That's the thing. Paul Castillo, make sure if you buy it in 2024, you file the BOI immediately when it's available. Exactly. And quite frankly, you might want to check and see, because a lot of states are increasing their fees for their LLCs as well. So you might want to check your state just to make sure if it's beneficial for you to start now versus later. Because there is no time. I mean, you can start an LLC. I mean, you can register an LLC. Doesn't mean you have to start the LLC. But I'll give you a perfect example. In Florida, here's what's going to happen. For instance, you will have to eventually notify the state your start date. So even when you're filling out your paperwork to get your LLC, you got to say, when do you think you're going to start? All right. So you got to give them an idea. And a lot of states are that way. So, but under the BOI rules, even though it's nothing major, I mean, it's not something to hide from. If you start your LLC next year, you're still going to file the BOI. It's just you have to do it in 90 days. Just like now, next year, when January 1st rolls around, we'll look at the BOI report, probably fill it out. But I'm not really thinking of the 90-day thing or the year thing, even though I know I have a year to do it. I'll probably still fill it out like January, just so I knock it out, right? And especially if I have the foreign corporation formed, which I'm probably may have like next week. Well, it takes 4 to 6 weeks. So actually, my foreign corporation is going to fall under, it could fall under where I have a 90-day rule. They're going to need the BOI. So you're going to be in the same boat as me or anybody else that gets an LLC, quite frankly. Just depends on the time that you get it. So I can't, the foreign corporation, it can't be done in 3 weeks. It takes 4 to 6. So it's going to be 2024. And that means if that foreign corporation does business or interacts with the USA Corp, that means I got to deal with situations I don't fully understand yet, but I'm pretty sure there might have to be some reporting, especially if I try to say it's an umbrella or pseudo foreign. I have to put a foreign corporation because I'm dealing with United States citizens. If that comes up, I mean, all kind of things are going to trigger. So, and I will be dealing with USA citizens. So I'm going to have to be mindful of that. So when it's set up, have to be a foreign corporation operating in the United States, which now means there's going to have to be a US address, right? It's on the form. You can read it all for yourself. So again, that's the things that you need to know. Most of us use our LLC correctly, so no worries. Exactly. Everybody that does normal business, you don't have nothing to worry about. This is no, I mean, it's just another pain in the ass, another form to fill out, right? But it's minor. You fill out your name, address, phone number, driver's license on documents all the time. This is not going to be any different, except now you're just saying I'm the owner of the business and these other people are owners and operate the business, or you're solo. At least it's FinCEN knows. So they're just making it easier for them if anything goes down that they can track you. Exactly. Anything before 2024, you get a year to file. Exactly. But I don't think it's going to be major. I think it's just going to be a simple, just what they say, almost like a credit card application, minus the ID requirement. You know, just like on, you know, your address, your probably, I don't know if they'll have phone number, but according to what they're saying, it's simple. Your name, address, your residential address, almost the same thing that you can put down on a LLC form if you wanted to. It's almost similar. I mean, it's not like, and by the way, and the funny part is you're filling out applications. That's actually not under FinCEN. When you're filling out applications, like for instance, you go down and get your car, right? And some people do the unthinkable. They tell the car dealer, oh yeah, when you're in the dealership, oh yeah, go get me the best deal you can get. Well, you know what they do? They send your information out to like 10, 15 banks. All of them have your information, but you don't know it until they come back and said, yeah, we'll give you that 1.9% interest rate for 6 years or 5 years, whatever. You don't even know it. That's why you never give them your information to go tell them to run it. All right. That's why, I mean, so that's what's going to happen here. I mean, at least it's only with FinCEN. It's not a thing. Vanessa, thanks for the info. Exactly. At Paul Castillo, also file your LLC in the state you live and do biz. That's the wisest thing right there. All right. So it all depends, though. Again, that's great. That's advice. But today we're in a mobile environment. So it can depend based on what you're doing. All right. So just think about that. But for the most part, that's correct. That's what this is about, quite frankly. They're tired of people getting Wyoming corporations, getting Florida corporations, doing this, but they're really doing business in the state that they live in. And that's where the problem is going to ultimately come into play over years. So that's why you can't be playing around. So you can be digital nomad. You can have residency somewhere, but when you start doing, I'm shipping things out of, let's say, California, and you're actually operating in California, but your business or your LLC is in Nevada or Wyoming or Montana, whatever, that's going to be a problem. It's that simple. It's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem. IRS, I'm pretty sure this is going to be shared with the IRS. I wouldn't doubt it. All right. Thanks for covering this, boss. I'm making my clients aware. Exactly. Exactly. It's no joke. Paul Castillo, Vanessa, I'm new to LLC, so I might have to ask you guys a few more questions later on when the time comes. Thanks. Yeah, no problem, Paul Castillo. You know, man, no guru zone. We'll answer. We have entrepreneurs in the house. Everybody can help you here, man. There's a lot of information here. And that's what's so beautiful. So, once again, in Florida. All right, well, then it's easy. Well, kind of easy. I hate Florida when you have to, if you have employees, even if you don't have employees, you still have to file the paperwork to every quarter and say no, there's no employees or whatever. It's just annoying, but nonetheless, that's what they do, man. I'm just saying, it makes it a lot easier if you actually did. Paul Castillo, Great State, I'm jealous. Yeah, Florida, no tax. Gotta love it. For individuals and LLCs, corporations, you pay tax in Florida. In Dominican Republic, 27% tax rate for corporations. That's pretty hefty. Speaking of that, for all the people that want to sell their real estate in the Dominican Republic, capital gains, 25% or 27. I can't remember. It might be just the same as corporations. It's either 25 or 27, 2% won't make a difference. So this is crazy, right? So you bought something for $150,000 and now you've only had it for 2 or 3 years. It's worth 300 G's. You got $150,000. I'm going to pull up a calculator. Let me go look. You got $150,000 capital gains. Is that crazy? And these guys are saying times 0.27. I think it might be 0.27. They're going, government wants 40,500 out of that. What's the exempt clause? I don't know, but I'm going to have to find it. In America, you would have about $250,000 would be exempt as long as it was your primary residence. So you would not have to pay the 40,500. So we got to find out what happens in the DR if they have some exemptions for your home. But that's pretty wild, right? 27% or 25, but either way, it's hefty. 40 G's. Either way. So your net is going to be like 110 less any fees, other like commissions or whatever. So you could sell something for 300, they get 6%, 5%, that's 50. Yeah, you could be out of pocket like 55 G's. So your gross is going to be 95. It's almost like I'll just keep it. I'll keep it. Maybe we have a 1031 exchange. I don't know. In America, we got a 1031 exchange. So then you're like, hey, hold on. I'll sell it to you through a 1031 then. I mean, there's all kind of options. You have one more option. I think. I'm not sure. We got to get the lawyers on. I think there's another option. Your company could actually sell it. Your company buys it, or you transfer ownership to a company in the DR. This is not in America, in the DR, and you sell the company. And I don't think it's 27%. There's something along those lines. We'll have to get Johan or Glennie on and we'll talk about it. But nonetheless, just so you know, yikes, not good. Exactly. But again, there's always loopholes where the rich are involved. I'll be willing to bet you there's some sort of exemption that you can get into, but it might have to be with, who knows? I can't even guess what the exemptions would be. If they're like the United States, then you would need residency or citizenship, because that's the only way it could work, right? We'll see. But 27% is hefty, and it's a good thing I'm not trying to sell no assets. No more selling of assets right now, although I still got to get rid of some land or something, right? But that's about the last assets. Any building structures, not selling. No sales, because you can't replace it at this point. All right. Well, we're going to wrap this up, ladies and gentlemen. I only played one little promo. Let's go. Let me play this one tonight. Let's see here. We'll go to this fun one.
Come on, come on.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully you had a nice conversation tonight and listen to me go off a little bit. Hey, you know, stocks, crypto, mergers, meaning buying businesses, doing anything, business opportunities, they're here. You just have to be in the right place. Are you going to be mobile? Are you going to be like Apple, Microsoft, Warren Buffett? Meaning, are you just going to stay in the United States, or are you going to start thinking about Mexico or Latin America or the islands, the Caribbean, or the EU? Are you going to start expanding your horizons? How about Asian markets, Taiwan, Philippines, Thailand? Or are you going to try and just stay within this area, USA? Think about it. You have options. The whole world is out here, and they do things totally different in a lot of different jurisdictions that may benefit you, that you may not be able to do in America, right? Maybe they do things straight and narrow, or maybe they give you a little leeway. Who knows? Different places, different governments. So you got to go to those friendly, business-friendly countries. That helps out greatly. And I like DR straightforward. They're just like 27% tax. I'm like, you're in business, 27%. Done. I'm like, damn, need write-offs. We need write-offs, legitimate write-offs. We need those. So again, if there's anything else you want to talk about this evening, let me know now. We talked about a few stocks, crypto, and gold and silver. Where's the gold and silver? In fact, that should have been there. Gold and silver popping up in price is remarkable. Finally, some movement, but it's nowhere near what it should be, which is sad still. I mean, 2,100 for gold. Gold should be like over $100,000. I mean, an ounce. This is just absurd. 20,000. I mean, it's $2,050 right now. Silver's at $24.84. All right, so they just went up 10 to 20%. But platinum and palladium drop. Go figure. All right, well, the gold and silver stackers got excited, I'm sure. $14.20, up 6. I mean, for gold. So they got excited. No, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with the excitement. So I'm at AppMax, and let's go SD Bullion. Let's see if they still have their free monster box. Do they still have the monster box giveaway? Nope, no monster box giveaway. It's over. I didn't get notification. I didn't win. So, but there we are. 2480, 2048 on this one. So once again, very interesting. Monster box sweepstakes still in effect. Give them your email address. That's you sign up once. Give them your phone number. You get to sign up twice. So the monster box SD Bullion, you see if you go for it, it's worth about, well, now it's worth about $19,000. Maybe even $19,500 since prices have ticked up. It's silver, though. They give you silver. So go over there to SD Bullion. I'm going to put a link in the chat room so you guys can check it out. So you can go over to SD Bullion, and you never know. Maybe for somebody from SSN Nation will win. Bring in the luck. All right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap this up for the evening. I thank you so much for being here. I appreciate everybody bringing up the FE. I didn't write it down. Damn. What was it? Brian P. gave us the new one of the century. FEPI. There we go. FEPI. Let me write this down. Like I say, always have to have that pen, pad, and paper ready. FEPI. P as in Paul, I. Dividends. And we got it at around 20. It was over 20 some percent. Right? REC shares, which people haven't heard of. We've talked about it only maybe twice. REC shares. All right. So go check it out for yourself, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you study. Make sure you look at it. This is what your future is going to be, because once these stocks take off, they may not take off right now. People are predicting that the stock market's going to crash. Like I thought myself, that I didn't think it would be like no indexes would be reaching all-time highs, but here we are, because the Federal Reserve did their job. The soft landing, they were able to do soft landing for the top 10%. Now they're just sitting there happy that they're not increasing interest rates, which they should have. So now that they're seemingly not, the guys are happy because they can wait 3, 4, 5 months for a decrease, because they know when it does decrease, they have all their assets already bought up in the equities market. Now they're getting more, and they're like, and the party's on, because they're just going to go see the feds and borrow and then buy their own shares of stock, and they're just going to pop. It's going to be insane, I think. Just like home prices, once they get 2-3 percentage points down, the race is on. 40-year mortgages is going to be a thing. 40 years. 30 years is crazy. 40 years is crazier. Nobody owns a house, because remember, even if you're getting a loan for 40 years or 30 years, you don't own it. Don't make a payment for months, it's taken. Don't pay your taxes, you got a problem. Property taxes, you got a problem. I'm just saying. And I learned something new about the South. These guys don't even play around. They'll put people's homes up for the auction block with an IOU of like a year or less than a year, it seems. I mean, it's insane. They're just like, yeah, you didn't pay your, and so they put it up on the auction block. It's crazy stuff. So I'm just saying, it's wicked out here. I'd rather go to some place like Victor Morel's talking about. I mean, geez, at least they're not like, just all about you're just taxed to death. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap this up tonight. I want to thank everybody for being here. I appreciate your support. I love you guys very much. Thank you for standing by. I did drop a video on Miracle Cash and More. The guys don't like it. I know. We have an NFT. We have 2 of them. But I just get tired. They started attacking me. And I said, you know what? I don't even have to take it. I was like, just because you sit around and lie, and then I ask you about your lies, how are you going to attack me about it? Blocking me from the chat rooms, calling up people that are in there to call me, say, hey, man. I'm like, what do you mean, hey, man? You're in this too. They didn't pay out any commissions for the last 1.5, 2 years. What are you talking about? I'm like, what do you mean, hey, what? I'm like, man, no. So I said, okay, I'll just start breaking out receipts then. This is what you said then, and now we're a year later, and you're talking to me like that didn't happen. I was like, what are you doing? And I said, I know the laws on registrations, and you guys are lying and telling people we're approved to do this pseudo OTC is going to be on a NASDAQ. And I'm like, an OTC is not going to be on a NASDAQ. You guys do not have 1 million shares out here that people can buy. You're not liquid. You don't have 2 or 3 years worth of financials that you could submit to anybody, let alone us. You got to submit that. So that's the only way you can be on NASDAQ. So stop using the word NASDAQ. you're lying. I'm just like, this is just ridiculous. It's just stupid. So even when you point it out, I'm like, guys, this is, I can show you. It's right here. It's Google. Go Google. Even if you have an OTC and got to do an upside, which is you're claiming they had OTC stocks. So that puts you in a different category than just actually applying to NASDAQ. But you still are going to need your 2 to 3 years worth of financials. I'm just like, you can't get away from it. And your shell company doesn't have 2 or 3 years of financials. That's going to allow you to qualify when it shows you haven't made like $75 million. I mean, like, what are you talking about? I mean, it's ridiculous. And if you did make $20 to $75 million, then you owe the NFT holders money. I'm just like, what is this? You're playing games. All right. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. That is what I was. So I'm these guys are sending me stuff in their back Telegram groups and stuff like this. And they're sending people to talk to me like, hey, man, what you're saying is not true. And I'm like, I'm not saying it. They are. What are you talking about? That's why I show the videos where they're saying it with their own words. I'm not making this stuff up. They're the ones that said we'll be open in 2 or 3 weeks. They're the ones that said we're going to pay commissions. You're going to make a lot of money by February of 2022 or March. They're the ones saying Lambo by Christmas. I mean, come on, man. Stop it. All right. So nonetheless, if some miracle happens where they somehow figure out some backdoor move to make it happen, which I don't know what that would be, so be it. But when everything that you check out and it says what you just said is not actually true, then you got to be like, hey, man, what are you doing? You're messing with United States citizens as well, which is pretty serious in the eyes of DOJ and any of the regulatory agencies besides DOJ. All right. Like Gensler, the SEC, they start getting involved. I mean, this is craziness when it comes to crypto and SEC. They're not friends. All right. So it's crazy stuff. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it just irritates a little bit. Hopefully you'll join us on Wednesday night live stream. But remember, Wednesday nights, only members with the icon can be in the chat room. Everybody can watch. Everybody can smash the like button. Everybody can subscribe. But only members can be in the chat room on Wednesday nights. Just keep that in mind. All right? There's no penalty. You can still watch. You can still listen on podcasts and all that. But only members can be in the chat room. So just keep that in mind. Wednesday night, 8:50 p.m. Hopefully you'll be there. Thank you so much, everybody, for being in the house. All right. Thank you. Exactly. I like facts. I'm not keen on talking BS. Exactly. You can tell me the story. And I believed your story. When you said you're opening stores, you showed stores opening. I believe you. Dan, I believe you. I believed you. We're going to be fully transparent. It'll be on the website. I believe you until it's not. Okay, there's problems. Every business, you could run into problems. It's not 3 months. It's 6 months. It's not 6 months. Maybe it's 9. Maybe it's a year. But you don't then tell me some dude on a live stream says, I receive commission, and everybody calm down. And everybody's like, what do you mean you receive commission? Calm down. According to them, they said they haven't given out commission. And then you find out later, oh, yes, some people were getting paid and some people were not. Oh, but they're in the STAR program. What do you mean they're in the STAR program? The only way STAR program people can get paid is if there's profits from the company. And if there's profits from the company, then that means the NFT holder of that company needs a commission check. So what are you talking about? You're lying, paying certain people to make them do something, and then you're lying to everybody else. Well, that happened last year, ladies and gentlemen. That's when they started having a little falling out. But nonetheless, part 3 is coming out. I just dropped part 2, which is out of place, kind of. It just went to this dark side. It went to this thing where Michael, I'll just say it. He's sitting there talking about, well, we never actually did any advertising. I'm like, what are you talking about? What's that video I was playing all last year where they were talking about $100,000 the first year, $200,000 the second year, 300 or whatever the frick thousands the next year? What happened? What happened to the ATM machines, the point of sale machines, the merchant process? I'm like, what are you talking about? You got a different story now, but I got a story for you in November or October of 2022. You were saying something different then. So we have receipts, like Vanessa Comagate, Seamless Genius says, I have receipts and everything you said has changed. And now that you changed, now everything you're saying is like a damn lie to me. So I give you grace, kind of. I'll say, okay, you couldn't do something, then just say we couldn't do it. So we had to do something different. I mean, just say that. And you're doing something different, but lying still. I mean, it's like ridiculous. You can't win all the time. And then you can't take like allegedly $20 million and then act like, well, we don't know what we're doing. Okay, that's crazy. Then get somebody there that does. But you don't want anybody else in the picture. You want to keep your seven people. So you don't want to have outside advisors. You don't want to have nobody else coming in there looking at nothing. You just want to lie. So I'm a little bent because, you know, we got Ring of Fire situation and these guys presented everything like they were doing it. They faked real good. They opened stores, which anybody could do. They made it look legit until you find out their license is revoked and you're like, okay, so where's this license at then? I'm just like, why aren't you answering questions? It's just ridiculous. Just sad, really. Pivots in crypto are expected, but lies are not acceptable. Exactly. We can all get with, hey, man, it ain't working. We got our own things, you know, like SSN Lifestyle, like come out with that. I wanted it to work a certain way, but it can't work. So I have to revamp. All right. Change up, but it's still going to be along the same lines. It's not like I just said, hey, I'm going to go. What the? That's crazy. That's crazy stuff, especially when my company is crypto too, by the way. We all know we can't have a crypto-based company go buy a stock-based company in the United States. That is ridiculous. That's not going to work. All right. First of all, SEC won't even approve it. This is absurd. So you would have to lie to them, basically, and say, no, we're not in that business. I'm just like, it's just too crazy for me. So, you know, so maybe they know something I don't know. Allegedly, they have the best lawyers on the planet now. I don't know where they've been because they should have used them last year. But I don't get it. So that's the thing. And Professor Auntie Val says it best. I should keep this up. Pivots in crypto are expected, but lies are not acceptable. See, that's the thing. I mean, anytime you have problems, that businesses are going to have problems. No person, no matter who they are, does not matter the money you have, you're going to have problems in business. All right. It doesn't matter. Take the big four. Everybody knows the Elon Musk's, the Amazon, Bezos, the Zuckerbergs. They've all had problems with companies that they have ran or businesses they have ran. Either way, you have problems. It's what happens when you have the problems. Are you giving up and telling everybody all the faith and everything they put in, I give up, done? Or are you going to continue to lie about stuff so you can get more money from some other people? That's the question, right? And that's what it looks like Miracle's doing. Or Boogie Gopher Club, or Cashflow, or Mediterra, whatever their freaking name is, or Himtech Limited. I don't even freaking know anymore. It's like all smoke and mirrors. But anyhow, I'll have another video dropping tomorrow. I dropped one tonight, ladies and gentlemen, and now I got a shout out. I got to say, even though I'm talking about this, I got a shout out. There's this guy named No Pants Profits. No Pants Profits. That's his name. He's on these guys for everything they're doing right now. And he mentioned me, SSN life, or if it wasn't for me and Stop Struggling Now, nobody would even be talking about it. I was like, oh, damn. Well, I've been talking about it, but damn, now I guess I'll be talking about some more then. And I was going to be dropping like 9 videos anyhow about them and the whole storyline, timelines. And so I'm showing the timelines in the video I dropped today too, when they were talking at the end of last year, when they were saying crazy stuff. Just crazy. But anyhow, that's another story, another day. Hopefully I'll see you on Wednesday, 8:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Only members with the icons can be in the chat room. And then Friday night at 9:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Keep in mind, pay attention to your emails or social media, because I'm hoping to have on a business opportunity for you. All right? It's not that hard. It's one of those, like we were supposed to get with Miracle, set it and forget it. Well, this is in a little more mainstream. It's not crypto. It's not stocks. It's not any of that. It has to do with social media, something that is needed and fills a void. So it's tech. And getting in early on tech is good, especially if it works. Not all tech works. Let's get real. But if this works, then you're going to be position yourself into one hell of an opportunity, because you could have equity. Not could. You will have equity in the company, but only at the beginning. It won't be offered next year or when they reach a certain number. So again, you guys will find out about it. We won't be probably talking about numbers at that time, but it'll show you the tech. And then, like everything, how can I get involved? Well, there you go. You'll have to call them direct. All right. That's all I'm going to say. Or we're going to do our Ring of Fire SS and Lifestyle. So either way, it's all good. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, with all that said, make sure you stay out of trouble. Make sure you be safe over this holiday season, because remember, during holiday time, there's a lot of people that are under stress, duress, depression, all kind of things, all kind of emotions happen during this time. So you never know what somebody could be going through. So just be patient and be safe. And with all that said, keep your head up, keep moving, and I'm out.